People will often come to my office asking what a gastric sleeve is. They have this idea that there's a sleeve like a tennis ball can that's wrapped around the outside of the stomach and becomes tight around the stomach and constricts it. That's not the situation. That's really not what a gastric sleeve is. What a gastric sleeve is it takes the kidney-shaped stomach and reduces it, takes off the outside, the stretchy part of the stomach, and makes the stomach tubular. Tubular enough that it resembles something that you might put your arm through, like a sleeve. The best way to discuss this from my standpoint, being a surgeon and thinking in 3D, is to use a model. Not necessarily the best model, but this represents a stomach. It's not scale, but it's good enough. The esophagus is where the food comes down through the chest and enters into the abdomen. It enters the stomach and then goes down through the stomach. There's a valve at the bottom of the stomach called the pylorus. And sometimes that valve is open and sometimes it's closed. If it's closed, the material that's in the stomach backs up and fills the stomach. If this valve is open, the material drains through the stomach down into the small intestine downstream. What we do when we do a gastric sleeve surgery is we identify a specific area on your stomach and then we cut the whole side of the stomach off, essentially making that stomach much smaller than it used to be. So it becomes a tubularized stomach about the size of a very large banana or a plantain, rather than the size of a kidney or a large kidney bean in shape. This tubularization of the stomach changes how things go through it. It changes the amount of fluid that can go in it, and it also changes how it processes that material. The inner part of the stomach, the lesser curve, is very stiff, and it does not stretch. The outer part, the greater curve, is the stretchy part, but we cut that off. We cut that area of the stomach off and we take it out and we throw it away. It's completely out of your body. It's not a reversible procedure because what used to be attached here is now gone. But it works very nicely, and we have found over time that people don't miss having that extra piece of stomach. It's really not used for anything dramatic. So the food that comes into that stomach, if the pyloric channel is open, will drain directly down and into the intestine. And if you drink sugary-based liquids or ice cream or milkshakes, it may go down and empty quickly, and you may get what's called dumping syndrome from that. If you do, you're not going to feel very well, and you're not going to want to drink that a second time. If the muscle's closed, that fluid and that material will back up until it's at the upper part of the sleeve, and you'll get a sensation in your mid-chest that tells you you don't want to drink anymore. It's that sensation that most people find the most helpful thing related to the sleeve, because they feel that they know when they've had enough. They're not limited in terms of the kinds of foods or the types of foods that they can eat. They can eat anything. They just can't eat a big volume of them, and they know when they're full. So they don't overeat, they don't end up throwing up, and they feel as though they have control. And they see their weight come down, see their medical issues resolve, and they love this procedure. This procedure, when it's done, can be done on an ambulatory basis. You can have this and go home the same day. Now, it seems silly that somebody can take you to an operating room, poke holes in your body, and take out 75 to 80% of your stomach and send you home the same day safely. But it happens, and it happens every day. It has to be in the right facility, it has to be with the right team, and it has to be done well when it's done. But it's a remarkable procedure, and there is a reason why it's the #1 procedure that most people are seeking now, because people recover from it very quickly. They feel good almost immediately. They get up, they walk around, and they say, I can't believe how quickly I'm getting back to doing my things, and people are asking me whether I actually had surgery or not. That's what you can expect related to gastric sleeve surgery.